all local, all morning. You're watching Fox 61 Morning News.
In a city that struggles with opportunity gaps for our students, where many of our schools do not provide music, art, libraries, and enrichment for our students, it behooves the city to guarantee that our buildings are safe and healthy environments for those that work and learn in them.
Now at 6, teachers are raising concerns over the pause in construction for several schools in Hartford after work was approved. Fox 61's Glenn Kittle will have much more on this story coming up in a live report in a few minutes from now. But first, we want to say good Tuesday morning. Thanks for joining us on Fox 61 and Fox 61 Plus. I'm Bridget Bureau.
And America Areas, thanks for checking in. It is a very cold morning out there. Be ready, get prepared with the hats, the scarves, and, you know, any other, maybe like the neck warmer, the face warmer, whatever you need. Just layer
whatever
up.
you need to stay warm is exactly what you should do, right? Especially for those who have to work outside this morning and even the afternoon. Now, despite the fact that our winds are going to be lighter this morning and into the afternoon, it's still going to be bitter cold with single digits out there now. 7 degrees right now in Torrington, 7 in Willimantic. It's 14 the air temperature in Groton and 18 in New Haven. And even the lightest wind, 3 to about 7 to 8 miles per hour, is taking our real feel down to about the sub-zero towards Torrington. It feels like -2 in New Milford. It feels like 7 degrees in Willimantic, but it feels like 2 degrees in Groton. It feels like 9 in New Haven. So it's just a frigid day overall. Bundle up, especially for those kids at the bus stop. By noontime, we will have a good amount of sun. Temperatures will move to around 21 degrees. So despite the sun, it is going to be another cold one ahead. Towards this evening, we are going to increase the clouds. And while there could be a passing shower early tonight, it's not really a widespread issue with wind speeds that are fine. So heading through the day today, 29 in Naugatuck, 28 in Bristol, 31 in Wallingford. And southeastern Connecticut will be in the upper 20s to right around 30 degrees. Now for our Wednesday, we are tracking temperatures that are not as cold. However, we are bringing in a clipper system that will bring in the potential for maybe a passing shower or some snow showers in the afternoon and into the evening, putting down maybe a coating to up to an inch or so in spots in our higher elevations in the afternoon and into the evening. So that may make the ground a little slick for evening travel for tomorrow afternoon. We'll talk about where we go from here. We'll time this out for you coming up in just a bit. Here at 6:02, largely quiet across the state with no significant delays in the area, which is certainly some good news as you're traveling now. So looking at our drive times now from Hartford to Massachusetts, around 41 minutes. And then also New Haven to Rhode Island is up to about 70. New Haven to New York is an hour now, and Waterbury to New York is around 56. We don't have any significant delays, and road work has cleared for the morning commute. Over to you.
All right, thanks, Rachel. 6:03 now. The state's severe cold weather protocol remains in effect until noon. If you need shelter or a warming center, call 211 or visit 211ct.org. Transportation can be provided if needed as well.
It's 6:03 right now, and this morning Hartford educators are questioning Mayor Arunan Auralampulam's decision to pause the renovations of 6 public schools in the capital city. At last night's city council meeting, the educators asked how the mayor got the authority to go against decisions made by the school building committee, the Board of Education, and also the city council. Fox 61's Glenn Kittle is joining us live from City Hall with much more. Glenn, good morning. A lot of people upset about this.
Yeah, good morning, Bridget, Erica. As you could tell by that clip that we played at the beginning of the show, teachers, educators, parents, and students all outraged at this pause in funding. That the original purpose was to fix up these schools and help a Hartford public school system that has been bleeding in enrollment over the past 4 years. More than 5,000 students have chosen other communities to get their education, like New Britain, Manchester, and East Hartford. Now, the 6 schools that were meant to receive these renovations were McDonough Middle, Sand, Maria C. Conlin Sanchez Elementary, Parkville Community, Batchelder School, and Malin. The mayor in September said he's holding up state funding to make fixes to these schools because he says he wants to find ways to improve educational outcomes for Hartford students before just fixing up the buildings. Here's what educators had to say about Auralampulam's continued block on renovation funding last night.
One of the schools is Moylan. I have been inside Moylan when it rains. There are puddles throughout the stairwells, which cause concerns for the safe passage of students and staff. Poor air quality in the affected schools due to mold and dust creates illness for students and staff. Don't our students and staff deserve safe and healthy facilities in which to learn?
Now, as of right now, there's no set date as to when construction could start at these 6 public schools. As of right now, Arulampalem says that he wants to get all parties together to come up with some sort of solution where it comes to educational outcomes before these renovations start. He says he wants to get that done as quickly as possible. Live in Hartford, Glenn Kittle, Fox 61.
To get that update there, we'll see where it goes. And accountability in action, that's what several families in Hartford demanded last night after a fire tore through their building more than a month ago. I'm sure you remember what happened. Instead of receiving support from the city, those families claimed they were placed in dirty hotels with mold and bed bugs. They claimed negligence from their landlord is one of the reasons for the structure fire that forced many of them out of their units. Tenants say they've reached out to the city for help but have gotten nowhere. We brought these concerns to Hartford Mayor Arulampalem, who says his office has not received any calls or complaints.
Tenant liaison has been there on the scene, given her personal phone number to these tenants. You know, I feel for folks who are going through this and who have lost everything.
The tenants who spoke last night say they will continue to advocate for those who are displaced by fires. A plea hearing is expected today for a man accused of killing his father last month. An arrest warrant claims that Joshua Popularczyk admitted to killing his own father to Farmington police. Officers found his dad, 62-year-old David Popularczyk, inside his Birch Street home on November 14th with several stab wounds. The warrant claims that Joshua told detectives that he thought about killing his father since he was a kid. Police also say he told them his father abused the family in the past.
A Connecticut man stabbed a man and a woman to death before taking his own life in Springfield, Massachusetts. Police there say one of the victims was from Connecticut as well. Now, this happened back on November 25th, just before 10 o'clock in the morning. Investigators believe Kung Ked Jumkrong of West Hartford stabbed 2 people, Kum Kio Ching Vacha of Springfield and Sa Chi Van Pompan of West Hartford. Officials released their identities just yesterday, but we don't know yet how they all know each other or what led up to the attack. The investigation continues. And a Danbury man who was missing has been found dead, and now New York police are investigating his death as a homicide. The Putnam County Sheriff's Office says a fisherman discovered Aurelio Zuno Orbez's body in the Croton Falls Reservoir on December 7th. He was reported missing by his family on the 1st. An autopsy ruled his death a homicide. Detectives are also searching for his black Toyota Sienna cab. They believe it was stolen by the suspect after the killing.
A Rocky Hill man was arraigned on 8 criminal charges yesterday, in part because police said he refused their orders to leave an apartment. Officials say Kyrell Thaxter got into a domestic dispute Saturday at the Forest Hill Apartments on West Street. Police evacuated the building and say Thaxter did eventually come out without any further issues. He's now charged with disorderly conduct and reckless endangerment, among other crimes. He's being held in lieu of bond. And an update on a crash we told you about earlier yesterday. A man has died after he was hit by a car while walking in Southington. This happened around 9:20 on Queen Street. 70-year-old Ralph Gulla died at the scene from his injuries. The person driving the car was not injured and stayed at the scene cooperating with investigators. Well, part of Route 9 in Middletown is getting an overhaul this week as all part of a multi-million-dollar state project to reconfigure the Route 17 on-ramp to Route 9.
Now that means drivers can expect some lane closures and delays. Fox 61's Alicia Hercules tells us what you need to know about detours and what to expect.
The Connecticut Department of Transportation says this project will help prevent front to rear end crashes. Drivers say the changes are much needed, but they worry about how much traffic this construction will cause.
I actually was involved in an accident at the lights years ago.
Ellen Rice drives on Route 9 often to get to work. She says the road is very dangerous.
It's already a problem with the lights and all the construction that's been happening, so I think it will severely back up the traffic.
The Department of Transportation assures drivers that the construction will only be during overnight hours to limit traffic congestion. There will also be a detour at exit 23B in Middletown. The construction over the weekend will be on the bridge crossing over Union Street. Josh Morgan, the DOT's Director of Communications, says the overall project will get rid of the Harbor Drive on-ramp due to safety concerns.
There is a stop sign right there to get onto Route 9, and part of this work on the bridge crossing over Union Street is to accommodate that future replacement, to make the bridge have an extra acceleration lane and to keep traffic moving through the area.
Over a 3-year period, the DOT says they've seen about 250 crashes where the stop sign is located. The DOT also plans to remove 2 traffic lights, which they say has been the site of several accidents on Route 9. Haley Holland used to live in Middletown. She says she used to avoid Route 9 at all costs because of constant accidents and speeding.
I see a lot of accidents on Route 9, so I decided that I will not drive Route 9 no matter what. I will take all the back roads that I have to, even if it takes me 2 hours to get where I need to go.
She says she is thankful for any changes that make the road safer.
I think that it will mitigate the accidents, but also I think that there needs to be help when it comes to the speeding as well.
Construction will begin this Friday and is expected to be completed by next Tuesday. In Middletown, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
Alicia, thanks. All right, 6:11 now, and 2 Connecticut cities were just named in the top 50 for traffic congestion in the U.S., and one broke through the top 100 most congested spots worldwide. Transportation analytics firm INRIX looked at more than 900 cities in nearly 40 countries and analyzed how much time and money drivers lost in 2024. Stanford ranked 17th in the U.S. and 63rd in the world. In the U.S., the average driver lost 49 hours and $894. But in Stanford, drivers lost 53 hours and $976 last year. New Haven also made the list and ranked 49th in the U.S. and 278th worldwide. INRIX says drivers there lost 31 hours and $571 because of traffic.